what you just hear, this is an organelle. It's something that exists. It's actually a computer with a keyboard and knobs and an integrated sound card. I made this software that runs on it. So if you look in YouTube, for Critter and Guitar organelle, you're gonna see single-use programs for this thing. They just do like either one synth or one effect, or there's ways to use several patches at the same time. But what I did is to create from scratch something that actually I created this long before. It's like I don't know who knows about Pure Data?
I know that thing runs Pure Data.
Exactly, this thing runs Pure Data, and it's actually good because it's a Linux machine, very, very optimized with very low latency. And it has, nothing else, like no chat programs, no Facebook, no browser. It's just a computer optimized for doing music. So it's quite cool to make music with it, and also to patch. Like if I suddenly, for instance, what we heard before, like this, I'm gonna create a sequence here. This is the sound from mutable instruments. Just dry sound. So probably you're familiar with these typical mutable instruments. Now the thing here is that I can create a sequence and I can transpose the sequence. Send effects. Now adjust the effect. Also without quantizing. And then also like boutique delays, like super stupid sequence. So what I created here a system to improvise electronics. I can also recall, of course, I have sequences there. Another channel. By the way, there's 14 channels, so I guess they're enough. There's sampling, one-shots, drum kits, then looper, sound on sound looper up to 8 bars, and then there's synthesis, like 4 channels of I improvised. I just recalled one sequence in one channel, and then in the rest it's just flowing. My favorite feature that not many machines or not all machines have is the ability to have the whole sequence. You see, you cannot read what it says there. So this would be a probabilistic trigger. So I can have one sequence, and by reducing tricks, it's going to be different every time, less repetitive. Now it's repeating all the time. Of course, yeah, important being able to shift and also being able to select a part of that sequence, keep it looping, add a probabilistic, shift the sequence, and then I can also copy paste sequences. So if I like this sequence, I could copy, paste it in another channel. And especially with melodics works quite good, because if you come up with a sequence that is interesting, and maybe you don't remember what you did, or by ear can't really say, but you just copy, paste it in another channel, you offset, maybe you shift the octave, maybe you add some probabilistic, and suddenly you have two voices that are in tune, but without doing the same, and without being repetitive. Also for me it's important that it's not repetitive, because sometimes I play other instruments, and while I'm performing with one instrument, I don't want a lot of repetition going on. Insert effects per channel, 4 sound effects, these boutique loopers with pitch shift, what we heard before, like this one. So these are 4 loopers that are in different octaves, and randomly, they play randomly, record randomly, and also randomly go forward and reverse. So then they fill up the space. You just do one sequence, you put a little bit of this, and party.
The 14 channels, are they all limited to, I think it was 32 steps that I could see on the little screen?
Actually, let's see here. The steps you see there, the way it says 3, no, it says 16. I'm gonna put it here. 128. That's 8 bars.
Okay, so up to 128 steps, and that's per channel.
Yeah.
Okay, and each channel has a preset, to use electron speak, machine. So you have a set amount of channels that use a synthesis, a set amount of channels that use drums. Okay.
It's modular, so to edit this, that's organelle feature. Like this machine has wireless, has MIDI, like sync in, sync out, MIDI. Every channel also sends its respective MIDI channel. So channel 1 sends MIDI channel 1 up to 14, and then also all the channels send a CC. In case that can be used for hacking purposes. All the CC is 1 to 14 in channel 1, and it's hackable since it's pure data. Like the software is here in a USB drive, and you can edit. And the way I made it, instead of being one of these mega patches that you open and you see like a giant spaghetti, like what is this? I made like a, the sequencer is like one sub patch. Then the samplers are another sub patch. The channels are another sub patch. The master section, because in the master section I can record at 24-bit WAV file, all I do, and the punch effects for the master, what you heard before, like this. If I do this beat crusher, high pitch, low pitch, reverb, delay, easy to, in a like modular way. So I love modular synthesizers, and that's the inspiration for this. Like, what is cool about modular synthesis? Like these ways of interacting with the sequence, or using one sequencer to sequence the pitch and another the tricks. Still not here, but will come at some point. Then using different effects, and you use send auxiliary buses to send, and the effects send. They are also in channels. So I don't know, when I put this one, if I just send this one to the boutique delay, apart from the pitch shifting and the looping, you hear also reverb and delay. Yes, because this one was sent to the delay and the reverb. And then the reverb, this might do feedback, like might get out of control. I can send the effects to each other. And yeah, has also the input with low latency, and yeah. Did that respond to your question? Kind of?
Yeah, I was just trying to get the big picture idea of what this Groovebox can do. But yeah, that's all pretty awesome.
Yeah, but sequencing is in all the channels. But then there's looping for external stuff, for unquantized, groovy, whatever. And then the synthesis channels. The sequencers are agnostic to that, so I could get a sequence here. So this sequence here, we are hearing. I'm going to copy it, and now I'm going to paste it in a drum, but then I have to omit it. So and I can keep doing that. Channel 2, I delete what is here, and I paste. And now I apply a little bit of probabilistic.
Is this a Groovebox sequencer effects? Is this a patch that you wrote for, or is this part of the organelle sort of community?
No, I wrote this, and there's one in the group of organelle. The name is S3rquencer. My name is Servando. I call it S3rquencer, and it can be downloaded there. There's even like a free light version. They all are open source, but yeah, there's one that is free, and other there is a contributive beer price version. Yeah, I mean, the latest stuff maybe is not there, but most functionality, especially the sequencer, the offsetting, probabilistic, and also, forgot to mention this. This was the first cool thing I did. Is like I can filter out notes. Full sequence, less notes. So yeah.
And like a follow-up to that would be with this patch that you wrote, the sound engines, are they inside this patch, or you can add your own sound engines to each, say, track or something?
Yeah. Since when you open the editor, so I also wrote like a nice manual for it, it's like 2 pages, and people that got the patch and stuff, they told me like, oh nice, that is kind of easy, quick. I mean, you saw that I'm barely looking at the screen. I usually, when I perform with this, zero menu diving, very important for me. So But that's why I put the stickers, because zero menu diving, but it's important that the hands are in the right place. So usually right hand navigates through a matrix of objects. Imagine the channels will be the horizontal axis, and then the things that are in every channel, like from the sequencer, the sampling, synthesis, the insert effects and other stuff, they are in the vertical. So with this hand, I navigate that matrix. So now I'm going to edit the sequence of the channel 2. It will be just as easy as that. Channel 3, sequencer, or channel 3, the sampler page, the mixer page, the metronome page, the swing, then the master section where I can mute and unmute, I call it swing, and then apply like global probabilistic, and then the effects to everything. Yeah, so it's kind of easy, quick. It's the thing that I'm proudest the most. And actually part of this has been, I don't know who saw the Red Bull, the giant sequencer. So some of the people present here and we built that. And the Red Bull sequencer, the RVMA20, runs part of this. And yeah, most of this code is vanilla. It means that it can run even in a ESP32 microcontroller. So yeah, my plans is to collaborate with people and make these parts of this code to run in as a plugin, modules, even an own device. I really would love to have my own device with a bigger display, velocity sensitive keys, other features. Yeah.
You said you had the pure data patch before you got the organelle.
Yes.
How easy was it to actually adapt the patch to it?
Was actually okay, because actually Johannes, that is there in the back, he's the one guilty for me to get one of these, because when I saw it, I read the specs and it's like, okay, single core, the one he has and the one I had before, single core, 1 gigahertz, 500 megas of RAM. So it's a bit specs like a overclocked Raspberry Pi 1. And I'm very experienced with that. I knew, so I really know how much a Raspberry Pi can give. And it's not really a lot. So I compromised myself to do code for it, but was really horrible because when you're pushing the Raspberry Pi and suddenly the CPU glitches, it's like, and you can't be plugged to a big system and suddenly have devil coming out of the speakers. So I was thinking like, when I saw the organelle and I read the specs, it's like, this thing can't perform good, according to my experience. But then Johannes got one to see what he does is that he opened it, he looks how it's made, what is the microcontroller inside, how they made all the stuff. And I was there, and then I tried some things, and I said, wow, this thing was quite quick. And then I had some patches there, and it's like, it's kind of easy to do that. I don't remember how we did. Maybe we had a monitor, because if you have a USB keyboard and a mouse, and you see the HDMI, you have the equipment, you can just patch directly. And I put some patches there, and it's like, wow, they run. I was really surprised, because when I did the same test in Raspberry Pi, it was like, and then everything freezes and I have to remove the power to reboot, and even the version 1 was responding quite good. So then I put S3rquencer and it's like, okay, I made this patch to work in a computer, so it's a lot of mouse, keyboard stuff. But here, since I have that restriction, that is actually a restriction, I started to make the interface. Like when I press shift, this button, plus this octave, I switch channel. And then when I press this one, then I switch function. And when I press this 2, this is like a hyper shift, then goes to more channels or more functions. And that was really a liberation. And having knobs that you can even twist at the same time was really, I gotta be honest, was when Corona hit. So I had the idea like, yeah, I'm gonna port S3rquencer to the organelle, but it wasn't until Corona happened that I was in Spain in lockdown that is like, okay, now I'm gonna do it. And I actually did it like in 3-4 days, it was already working. But yeah, then I kept adding stuff. There's much more patches. Thing is, since I was programming most of the time, this is a newer organelle. It's quad core, 1 gig of RAM, kind of has the MIDI, also the mini jack MIDI, and a microphone. That's the extras it has. But most patches I did. So this patch, what you heard, it really runs in an old organelle also. So what I did is I did emulations of analog synths, like a Moog Werkstatt clone or SH101 clone. That thing sucks a lot of CPU. But I realized that actually sampling, looping, delays, sequencing, that's for free. Like it's super cheap. So I thought, I'm gonna focus more on handling audio. Digital does that better anyway. So I didn't port yet, the SH101 or I made a clone of the analog for, it's not 100%, but at least the way it works is like 2 oscillators with 2 sub-oscillators, multi-mode filter, low-pass filter, saturation, compression, yada yada. So I really made that works in a Mac, and it could work here, but maybe just 3-4 voices, not 14. So that's
How much can you do on the device itself versus when do you need a computer? Like, for example, can you were showing like the Mutable Instruments plucky sound, like could you change this to another synthesizer just on the device, or do you need to plug it into a computer?
Not plug it, it takes just a minute. So wireless setup, I say start access point, and now start BNC, and that's gonna kill the patch, and now I'm here. It's already connected to it now, so BNC, now I click here, so I'm inside now. And now if I open the patch from here, so if I move a knob, you see the first slider, and now this is how it looks. So if I wanted to put Platz in channel 7, I just Control E, delete this module. You see that now it's an output. Space 7, maybe. So there it is. So now in channel 7 there is a Platz also. But maybe I will have to save and reopen, so it gets. But I don't even have to put the cables. That MPD you have to patch. It's not even necessary. Like the modules, when you use this number, objects connect wirelessly. So that's why this number appears here. So the sequencer 7 sends to any synth or sampler that has the ID 7, and they send the audio to the channel number 7, that then sends the audio to the master section. Yeah? So it's as easy as that. So it takes seconds to reconfigure. Any more questions?
So that's your organelle's running a desktop all the time?
Yes, it's sharing, not all the time, but it doesn't take much CPU. If I go to the load meter, 44%, and this is in 1 core. What sound is that? Maybe it's the Platz module. It is. see, it takes very little CPU, even in one core, because I was working before in. I'm very obsessed with efficiency. So, yeah, all that you have heard runs also in a single core machine with 500 megs of RAM. Anything else?
Why 14 channels?
Because
related or-
it's a restriction because of how this is. Because I decided the right hand, this section is going to be navigating matrix, like which channel, which thing. And since there is 7 keys and there is like shift and hyper shift, that gave it like, okay, 14, that's the way to. But I'm not limited to that. Like with sampling, even the samplers are stereo. I don't know if you have appreciated that. Yeah, they're stereo samplers. I could have maybe like 40 channels of stereo samplers because there's nothing. That's the thing. Like we all love hardware, yes. So, but we all know that the most powerful thing to create audio, manipulate audio, is a computer. The problem is that regular computers suck because of the screen and because of the keyboard and the workflow and the other software that is disturbing. But if you have a dedicated machine, even when it's an ARM CPU, but also efficient as well. But yeah, it's quite powerful. I mean, more powerful than any current electron machine or teenage engineering, or this thing eats everything else because it's a computer. So we knew that. Anything else?
I missed the name of the company that makes the.
Creator and Guitari is Organelle. Like if you put in Google like Organelle, synth, Creator, Guitari, you're gonna get to that.
It's no longer for sale though.
No, yeah, and they are skyrocketing in the price. Like people is paying more than €1,000 for this one, and the old ones also like 600, 700 euros.
No, but on Kleinanzeigen you get them sometimes for 200.
Because it's Berlin. If it was, put it on Reverb, you will see.
I wanted to sell mine and you find them for 250. And then I was like, no, I'm not.
But maybe someone here, Johannes is making the big mistake of selling an organelle. So
Anybody wants it.
So you didn't buy it and sell it on eBay?
Can't you run organelle software on gnomes as well?
yes.
And there is an open source version of it. It's very
Yes. The thing is, for me,
But you don't have the interface, but
exactly.
you can have
So
a MIDI controller. or something.
the display is much better, and you could quickly, if you know how to code, it could take you like maybe half hour, 1 hour to fork S3rquencer to run in nodes. But yeah, the thing is, I much prefer this because it has already everything. Like the input is there, the keyboard is there, the display, the knobs. So, and it has a pedal input too, which I love because I play guitar. So when I'm playing guitar, I have the pedal, and maybe I'm not looking at the machine. Just I press when I something I like, and then it gets into the looper.
What pedal input is it? Is it an expression or just a switch?
Actually, both. Yeah, depends. If you put the expression pedal, it detects the range. But when you put the foot switch, it's like voltage. So a switch just switches between maximum and minimum, and the expression is gonna, again.
We should send also.
And for the audio and the peripherals ins and outs, are they going straight into the Raspberry Pi, or do you have another module that interfacing with those?
Yeah, they added
These are codecs.
some extra stuff. So for the MIDI, you don't have to worry. Like whatever, if I connect a MIDI device to it, it's already gonna receive clock, or when you send clock, it's gonna get it. But then you still have the possibility to control like USB MIDI devices. So you have, I don't know, for instance, Axolotti, this one. So, well, no, this is another thing I made. But since I removed the D MIDI part, I can still use the host MIDI to sequence it from this.
And is the audio is using the audio on the Raspberry Pi, and the knobs and the buttons and switches are all going into peripherals in the Raspberry.
Yeah, I think the thing is that in the older one, they put a microcontroller to handle the interface, and then they provided some scripts that are open source to communicate the organelle OS with the hardware interface. But in this one, since it's so powerful, I think it's all handled by the Raspberry Pi, so they don't use the microcontroller anymore.
Sweet.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you.